Order of the Clay County Commission. We will start with our Invocation Administrator. When you are ready, please proceed.
Please join us in an attitude of prayer. God in heaven, we thank you for the blessings received. For those gathered here today, inspire our thoughts, discussions, and ideas as we seek to work together to ensure that the decisions made today benefit the residents of Clay County. Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. Thank you. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Nolte.
Here.
Commissioner Thompson.
Here.
Commissioner Carpenter.
Here.
That brings us to approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
Motion's been made for the approval of the agenda as published. Discussion. I have a couple of things that I would like to make some changes on here that I'd like to put before the commission. There we are. I would like to, on the regular agenda, I would like to remove 2022-271 that has to do with an agreement between the Office of Administration, Clay County, and Jackson County for fiscal year 2023. Discussion?
No discussion.
Very well. I'll go ahead and close. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Carpenter.
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson.
Yes.
Then I had one more recommendation. I don't know that this necessarily requires a vote, but on our regular agenda, there are some items that are pretty much like items. If it is if I get a consensus from the commission, I would like to combine them into one vote. Those items on regular agenda would be 2022, 283, 284, 285, 286, 266, 267, 287, and 289. The reason for combining these is the similarity between those they are all ARPA funding requests within the county, and we have heard them several times up until this point, so we've really gone through them pretty extensively. With that discussion?
Commissioner, I would ask if we could keep 2022-268 as an independent item.
Yes, I skipped over that one.
Perfect, thank you.
So yes, I was
that.
aware that was had a different spin to it there. So yes, that would be the entire list of those with the exception of 268.
I think that's a great idea. Thank you.
Okay. I don't know that we need to have a vote on that, so since that's the consensus of the commission, we will proceed under those lines as we go forward. That's all that I have as far as anything I would like to see us adjust our agenda for. Are there any more additions, deletions, or any other adjustments to our agenda?
Not for me.
Very well. Commissioner, you are recognized to close.
I close.
So we are dealing with approval of agenda as amended. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Thompson.
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter.
Yes.
Meeting schedule, Administrator?
Yes, the next meeting of the commission will be Wednesday, September 21st. It'll be a work session here in the chambers at 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
Very good. There are no honorary resolutions, there are no items under discussion items, and there are no public hearings scheduled for this evening. That brings us to our consent agenda. I would just make the point, remind that these are items that are non-controversial, and so if at any time, up until we take our vote, if a commissioner would like to remove an item from consent, to put it on regular, they're certainly free to. With that in mind, is there a motion related to tonight's consent agenda?
Commissioner, I move that we approve the consent agenda as printed.
Motion has been made for the approval of the consent agenda. Discussion? Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Carpenter.
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson.
Yes.
That brings us to this evening's regular agenda. First item on this evening's agenda is 2022 264. Administrator?
Yes, Resolution 2022-264 is the consideration of a request for the waiver of fees, interest, penalties, and taxes by the Church of Liberty. The county assessor and the collector both presented to the commission last week. The applicant was not in attendance last week, and I do not believe that the applicant is here this evening either. Certainly, collector's here if the commission has any additional questions.
Does the collector have anything that she would wish to add in addition to last week's testimony?
Barbara O'Reilly, Collector. I have nothing else to add except, as was said last week, we did not feel that there was anything county air on this request.
Any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak on this issue? And are we right in that the applicant is not present this evening? Does not seem to be. Okay, so I will open the floor. I will entertain a motion for 2022-264 with a reminder, as I frequently need to be reminded, that motion needs to include checking one of the two boxes, either approves or denies. With that in mind, is there a motion on 2022-264?
I'll make a motion to deny 2022-264.
Motion has been made to deny 2022-264 with the box denied checked. Discussion?
No discussion. I support the motion.
Is there anyone else wishing to comment? Seeing none, you're recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
That brings us to the grouping of regular agenda items. Those would be 2022, 283, 284, 285, 286, 266, 267, 287, and 289. And that would be with, on the list, that would be omitting 268 for individual consideration. Administrator?
Yes, so I will introduce each resolution. Resolution 2022-283 is approving ARPA funding for tourism coordinator position and programs in the amount of $250,000. Resolution 2022-284 is approving ARPA funding for the job training program for $18,000. Resolution 2022-285 is approving ARPA funding for the retention incentive program in the amount of $500,000. Resolution 2022-286 is approving ARPA funding for the wellness financial program in the amount of $24,000. Resolution 2022-266 is approving ARPA funding request for repairs of the Schrader roof facility in the amount of $198,000. Resolution 2022-267 is approving ARPA funding for remodeling at the Quick Building facility in the amount of $43,430. Resolution 2022-287 is approving ARPA funding for a riprap shoreline stabilization project at Smithville Lake in the amount of $50,000. And Resolution 2022-289 is approving ARPA funding for repairs at the Highway Department for the shop bay floor and shop office floor and installing a fencing around the perimeter of the property and awarding the contract to MTS Contracting and Zipco Contracting.
Are there any questions or comments of the administrator?
No questions. Thank you.
No questions.
Is there a motion related to this bundle of items?
Commissioner, I move that we approve 2022, 283, 284, 285, 286, 287, 289, 266, and 267.
Very well, motion been made for the approval of 2022, 283, 284, 285, 286, 266, 267, 287, and 289. Discussion? Seeing none, any comments? Seeing none, you're recognized to close.
Thank you. Well, I just want to say, these are significant expenditures and great investments, and I think the county should be proud to be making them. And I'm grateful to be part of it, and everybody who put these items together. So I think we should be proud of this bundle of spending package. So with that, I close.
Very well, please call the roll.
Commissioner Carpenter,
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
That brings us to 2022-268.
Resolution 2022-268 is approving ARPA funding for a remodel to occur in the prosecutor's office in the amount of $110,860.
Very well. Questions?
No questions.
Very well. Is there a motion related to 2022-268?
I move that we approve 2022-268.
Motion has been made for the approval of 2022-268. Discussion? I should have asked if there's anyone here who wanted to comment on that. I do not see any. So with that, Commissioner, you're recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Carpenter.
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
I'm going to recuse myself from this vote.
and Commissioner Nolte.
Yes. That brings us to 2022-282. Administrator?
Resolution 2022-282 is consideration of approving project authorization for the stormwater infrastructure projects utilizing ARPA funding. There are 8 projects for a total amount of $7,823,410. Last week at the work session, staff presented detailed presentation on each one of the projects, and we're happy to answer any questions that you may have. We have no new additional information to provide to you.
Thank you. This is, obviously it's a considerable amount of money, but these are all good projects in my estimation. What I really like is the idea that we are taking this one-time money and using it for permanent improvements that the county certainly needs to have done. The same would go for the other 2 items. I don't think I need to repeat it 3 times, but certainly I'm certainly supportive of the idea of using this money that we have found coming our way for such good purposes. So with that, further discussion.
No discussion.
Is there a motion on 2022-282?
I'll make a motion to approve 2022-282.
Very well. Any comments from the audience? Seeing none, discussion?
No discussion other than to reiterate what I said before is, we are, like you said, making significant and long-term investments in the future of the county, and I think our residents will be better off for it, and we should be proud of the work that has gone into it and will go into it in the future. So thank you to everybody involved.
Very good. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Carpenter,
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
That brings us to 2022-281. Administrator?
Resolution 2022-281 is consideration of approving project authorization for a water line study for a water line that exists under Smithfield Lake. The amount of this project is $360,000 utilizing ARPA funding. And I would like to say on this project, along with the previous stormwater projects and the one following it, these are simply project authorizations. As you said, these are large dollars. They will be coming back to the commission on an individual basis to again review each one of these projects.
Very good. Is there any questions of the administrator?
No questions.
Any comments from anyone present? Is there a motion on 2022-281?
Commissioner, I move that we approve 2022-281.
Motion's been made for the approval of 2022-281. Further discussion? Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Carpenter.
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
That brings us to 2022-290. Administrator?
Resolution 2022-290 is the consideration of approving project authorization for county technology projects across the organization. There are 6 projects totaling $784,000 utilizing ARPA funding.
Any questions of the administrator? Any discussion? Comments from the audience? Seeing none, is there a motion related to 2022-290?
I'll make a motion to approve 2022-290.
Motion's been made for the approval of 2022-290. Discussion?
No discussion.
You're recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter,
Yes.
2022-271 has been removed from the agenda today, so that brings us to 2022-273. Administrator?
Resolution 2022-273 is authorization approving a payment to Synergy House Incorporated. This is utilizing domestic violence funds. in the amount of $26,877.90. This has been approved by the Domestic Violence Board as a recommendation to the Commission.
Very good. Any questions? Any comments from the audience? Is there a motion related to 2022-273?
I move that we approve 2022-273.
Motion's been made for approval of 2022-273. Discussion. Seeing none, you're recognized to close.
Well, I just want to say thank you to the Domestic Violence Board and the members that serve on it. Synergy is an amazing organization, and they do really invaluable work in our community, and I'm glad that we can contribute. And with that, I close.
Very well. Please call roll.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
That brings us to 2022-262. Administrator.
Resolution 2022-262 is approving a contract for professional services with Children's Mercy Hospital in the amount of $7,000.
Any questions, comments? Is there any comment from the audience? Seeing none, is there a motion related to 2022-262?
I'll make a motion to approve 2022-262.
Motion's been made for the approval of 2022-262. Discussion. Seeing none, you're recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
That brings us to the end of our regular agenda. That brings us to comments on non-agenda items. Are there any comments from the public, office holders, or agencies on comments not covered under tonight's agenda?
My name is David Keener. I'm out of Lone Jack, Missouri. We've a new company in the area. We do online auctions. Just wanted to introduce ourselves to your county. We're doing work for several agencies in the area. And if it's all right, could I bring these to the...
Sure.
I feel like David and I are old friends now. We met downstairs coming in.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
she saw me walk out of the building.
Yes, with the administrator, please. And the clerk as well, thank you.
Yeah.
The clerk.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Our company is approximately 40 years old. The Francis family started this company, Gene Francis and Associates, in Wichita, Kansas, about 40 years ago. And then about 7 years ago, started a division called Gavel Roads Online Auctions. We primarily are helping agencies take care of asset management, but then we've kind of moved into helping individuals. Right now I'm helping a few farms, folks getting rid of items at farms. In particular, we had a couple ladies lost their husbands here locally, and I'm helping them slowly get rid of some of their stuff on a farm. And so we will help individuals, but most of our work is done with agencies. We also have an FFL license, and we're helping some of the agencies. Some of them like to destroy any guns that have been confiscated or anything like that, but then some of them, I've learned visiting with the city of Lone Jack, they said that they had guns in a closet since 1985 and didn't know what to do with them. And through our FFL license, we have resolutions, kind of a plan that you can go through to discard, and basically it rids the city of those. We put them in our possession, then we handle all of the process of securing the serial numbers and everything to make sure all the guns are clear for a sale, and then we put them in an auction, and then the proceeds come back. And whereas on the proceeds, it's 90% to the agency, and then 10% is our fee on that. And it's pretty much, on any of our online auction sales, there's no fee to the agency. It's what they call a buyer's fee. It's about 10%. So if someone buys something for $100, they pay $110 on something like that. But I am based in Lone Jack, Missouri, and be covering the area. I've had the opportunity to visit with several of your departments, and I appreciate that. And I will say that the folks that I've visited with here in the offices have been wonderful. They've been pretty entertaining to get some information and helpful and lead me to where I needed to go. So, but just wanted to introduce our company, and anything that we can help you with, we want to be a part of any solutions that we can help with within your county. That's all I've got, unless you've got questions for me.
I don't know that we, do you have any? Thank you very much for being here. We appreciate you taking the time to give us this information.
Thank you all. Have a great night.
Is there anyone else who would like to comment on any items not on this evening's agenda? Seeing none. That brings us to County Administrator comments. Administrator?
I have no comments this evening, thank you.
Commissioner comments. Commissioner Thompson?
I have no comments this week. Thank you.
Commissioner Carpenter?
No comments, thanks.
I also have nothing particular to say this evening. We do not have any items under approval of minutes of previous sessions. We do have, it looks as though we have 3 written reports to be submitted to the commission.
We do. We've changed how we're going to get these reports out to you, and they're going to be coming in your packet. When we have a report, it'll be in your packet, so you'll see it prior to the meeting. And there won't be any emails, and because I know you all get a lot of emails. We received an auditor's cash basis monthly report for August of '22, and then we also received the 2021 annual report from the North Kansas City Road District, and then we have the annual settlement from the Kearney Road District, and that's it.
Okay. Any questions?
Good question.
Very good. That brings us to executive sessions. We do not have any additional executive sessions scheduled. That brings us to recess and adjournment. We are adjourned.